A while back, Lauren Boebert said that she was going to try to impeach President Joe Biden. She introduced her articles of impeachment for this, that, and the other thing. And when I covered that story, I said that this was really just an attempt for Lauren Boebert to get attention, to be relevant, to have more invitations into media interviews. And now I have another example of that for you. Apparently, Republican Representative Greg Steube feels a little left out of the impeachment conversation. And so he's saying, I'm going to impeach Joe Biden too, for all the same accusations we're still unsuccessfully trying to provide evidence for, and also for prostitution. Because apparently you can just say whatever you want now within the GOP and accuse Biden of whatever you'd like. Take a look at this. Goodness, goodness, goodness.
For more on this, let's bring in Florida Congressman Greg Steube. He's on the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. And Congressman Steube has something to share. Congressman, welcome to the show. You have some exclusive news that you're going to break on tonight's show. Congressman, tell us about that.
Yeah, so you laid out a great case for a number of different crimes, and you laid the factual predicate for those crimes. And tomorrow I intend on filing.
I remind you once again, as I have a bunch of times on my show recently, James Comer got asked, will you be able to prove these things about Biden? He didn't say we have. He said, I sure hope so, meaning he hasn't yet. James Comer's words.
Filing impeachment resolution on Joe Biden for bribery, for extortion, obstruction of justice, fraud, financial involvement in drugs and prostitution. All of these things you just touched on the highlights.
Financial involvement in drugs and prostitution.
Of some of those, but we have all the facts and evidence now. And in the beginning of this Congress, Republicans wanted to make sure that we did the investigations, that we got the information before the American people. You have witness testimony, you have financial records, you have the laptop, you have text messages, you have phone conversations, you have all of this evidence now to corroborate and support impeachment articles against the president. And I intend on filing those tomorrow on all of these corruption and bribery charges that you just hit the top.
One of the signs that this is just a political stunt and very unserious, as we look at the broader effort by Republicans talking about impeachment and going after Biden, is that it's this unorganized. It's not actually, let's get our ducks in a row, get the proper amount of evidence, bring forward impeachment, and try to actually get Biden removed from office or something like that. It's just, hey, I want to turn. I'm impeaching him now. We've seen Marjorie Greene bring forward impeachment, articles of impeachment about 13 times. We've seen Lauren Boebert, I think at least once, maybe twice, and now Greg Steube and others. It's just a way to get a few interviews.
Of the iceberg on.
So, Congressman, your articles of impeachment against Joe Biden, for all the things you just mentioned, bribery, extortion, obstruction of justice, fraud, financial involvement in drugs and prostitution, and you're saying you have the receipts, you have the proof. Will these impeachment articles, when will they be released, Congressman?
They'll be filed tomorrow, so we'll do a press release with all the details. It's pages upon pages of all the different things that we have gathered as Republicans, as the conference. You know, you had the investigation.
Okay, so it's going to be all the things that were gathered that we've already gone through so extensively in the past. We did a bunch of coverage yesterday on these very accusations, and as the days go on, and really as the investigation becomes more extensive, the allegations against Biden fall apart even further. And we saw that definitely with the Devin Archer testimony. Key points that were supposed to hold together the accusations that Republicans are making against Biden fell apart. And it just has to be noted, by the way, when I'm recording this, he hasn't yet made the announcement, so I don't have the press release that he's referring to there, but I can imagine what it'd be like. And it's important to mention on things like this, what's the underlying answer to the question why? Why this? Why are they using all of their authority, time, power, resources to go after Biden instead of doing things that are more meaningful? And it's because if Republicans were really transparent about their agenda, we've seen it. Even when Trump was in power, actually legislative victory-wise, not much went on achievements that would benefit the lives of Americans. His landmark achievement was a tax cut bill that disproportionately benefited the top of our economic ladder. So how are you going to run on that and convince enough Americans that's in their interest and that's what they should be focused on and pushing for and voting in favor of? That's going to be really, really hard. And so what I always talk about on my show is distract, distract, distract. That has to be the agenda for these politicians. Otherwise, a whole lot of their constituents are going to be wondering, what have you been doing? And why is it that it seems like the other side, while far from perfect, at least is talking about real policies that could actually benefit people's lives, whether it be the American Rescue Plan, as far as the Democratic agenda goes, or the gun safety legislation, or the Inflation Reduction Act, capping the cost of insulin for Medicare recipients at $35 per month out of pocket, or repairing roads and bridges, expanding broadband, addressing the fact that 10 million Americans don't have clean, reliable drinking water, spending $55 billion to address that. These are things that, again, while far from perfect, the Democratic Party and Joe Biden are actually up to. And so you juxtapose that against this, and I guess this works enough as a distraction for enough people where clearly they see it as politically effective. And so there's that big angle on this. And it's also a distraction, yes, from their lack of meaningful policy positions, and also from Trump's legal troubles. Because if they can portray President Biden as a horrible, corrupt leader, or just muddy the waters on that, then maybe less people in the American electorate care so much about Trump's evidence-based allegations against him. And that really is a difference here. But a lot of people won't think so much about the difference in evidence for the two sets of accusations and instead just see, a lot of accusations over there, a lot of accusations over there. Maybe Trump's not as much in the wrong as he previously appeared to be. And so it's simultaneously doing the constant agenda item of the GOP, at least in its modern state, with the lack of meaningful policy positions, to distract from that. And it's also kind of a campaign contribution to Donald Trump.